In this video, I'll be going around Teamsport Leicester for my very first time. I've watched a few videos of people going around this track, and I'm looking forward to going on the banked corners. But without further ado, let's get into the action. Straight away on our outlap, we get someone overtaken under yellows, but I guess it doesn't really matter because we're going straight to green. Going into turn 1 here, which is a hairpin, it took me quite a while to figure out where the braking point was for it. And here we get a quick flash of yellows, which quite quickly goes back to green now. Doesn't help with the fact that I get bogged down out of hairpins due to weight, but I get overtaken twice through that section. And here we get shown the first red flags of the day. As we get back underway, I wasn't too sure what colour the flag was, so I let the guy on the outside go past, but I get an absolutely horrible run on this uphill. I later find that this section can be taken flat, but it can put you at a big disadvantage as someone can quite easily overtake you if you do it. A good few laps later and we get shown another red flag. Back to yellows now, and either these guys got a very slow reaction to the colour change or I was speeding in the yellows, which I hope I wasn't. But we go back to green and full racing speed. Now at this point I'm prioritising the car in front and planning my overtake, which allows this guy on the inside just to slip through us both, allowing me to get overtaken, but I also get the overtake done on that car in front. I then take this corner at the bottom of the hill quite well, as the car in front goes quite wide, allowing me to gain a lot of time. But going into the braking zone, we get shown the yellow flag for a driver who must have forgot to use their brakes and went straight into a barrier. Back to green flags now, and the two drivers in front are battling quite hard as the driver on the left takes it inside, and the white helmet guy goes quite wide into that corner, so I gain a bit of time there. But then I end up losing it again on the straight. Back into the heavy braking zone now, and the driver in front goes very wide and goes sideways, so I'm now right on his tail. But there's another flag, just as I was about to plan an overtake. But we are straight away back to green. Now at the time I thought this was a bit odd, either the marshal either mispressed a button or the driver sorted themselves, who knows. After many laps of clean air, I come up to this bunch of traffic. Now this driver goes a bit sideways on the exit, so that forces me to slam on my brakes, which makes me lose a lot of time, and it looks like he was doing a bit of Tokyo drifting there. But he's gone very wide, and now we are side by side, but this guy looks a lot slimmer than me, so he's going to get the acceleration. As I try a bit of bump drafting here, try and get him into the hairpin, and look at all of that traffic. What a nightmare. Now the driver in front goes incredibly wide through this corner, which allows me to slip up the inside and take the position. And I think we made a bit of contact there too. That was a bit of a scary one. I would not have liked to have been in that driver's position right there. After making my way through that traffic and the people that had crashed, I'm now back behind the guy in the white helmet. Back to racing speed, and this guy is already gaining a lot of time on me, so I'm thinking, oh, I can't really do anything here. And I lose my concentration and let this guy slip right through me. What an incredible overtake. Now we've come to the end of the first session. I ended this session in P5 with a time of a 41.5. I know I have a lot of time to make up. A lot of people in this group are very quick. So let's see how I do in the second session. Coming into the second session now, I am the first one out of the pits and, well, let's do some extreme tyre warm-up, eh? And for the first time in the second session, we go green. I start the session on the downhill, which is probably my favourite section of the track. Having it lead onto this sweeping left where you have to be absolutely on the limit to get it correct, then flat out all the way until this braking zone is such a good section of this track. But we also get straight into a red flag. Now this could have just been a light test, but I can't really see much from where I am at the minute. Now going back to full racing speed and the green flags, this corner here is one I've struggled with throughout the whole night. Coming out of hairpins at any track that I've been to, I've always struggled with. If anyone has any tips on how to improve in hairpins, please leave them in the comments below. Just after finishing my first full lap in this session, the guy in the white Italian helmet comes past me, and it was really a matter of when, not if, he was going to overtake me, because this guy was quick. Now I don't know if this was a mistake or him experimenting with the line, but I managed to shove it up the inside of him, but like every other time I've been overtaken on this track, they just fly past me. Coming out of the downhill, the guy in the white helmet in front gets a very wide exit and allows me to close the gap. The big lock up there sends him wide and allows me to sweep through on the inside. Once again, after a good few laps of clean air, I meet another group of back markers. I must say that was quite an unusual spin, but allows me to gain another place. Now I'm actually surprised with myself here because I managed to actually keep with these guys for a while. Once again, this group today was a very quick group. But as you can see, about 3 laps later, the gap has improved quite a lot. But we are in the yellows now, and yeah, I do not know what was going on here. That was very odd, and I've never seen anything like that before. Having the marshal push the car into the way of traffic was not the usual thing to do, I think. We're going back to green lights now, and I have a lot of clean air in front of me. I will now give you a walkthrough on how I take this track. So coming into turn 1 after the downhill, all of this bottom section will be completely flat into this heavy braking zone. Obviously I completely missed the apex there, but trying to get on throttle as early as possible is key. Same with this corner here. But after that right-handed hairpin, this section will be completely flat until we get to the first cambered corner of the lap. Coming up to the cambered corner, you can always experiment with your line. Here I go high and wide, but in the end I think I prefer taking it shallow. After the up ramp is 2 right-handers, which can all be taken flat. And that brings you onto the downhill, which, as I said before, is my favourite part of this track. This sweeping left is absolutely incredible. And that is a whole lap of Teamsport Leicester. If you guys have seen anywhere I can improve, once again please leave them in the comments too. Any help will be appreciated. As I mentioned before, taking these corners flat can put you at risk of overtaking if you stay on the racing line, just like what happened to me here. Seeing that cart go wide allowed me to get side by side going into turn 1 and keep it there and going into turn 2, and I regained the position with a bit of contact. I do end up letting them back past here because obviously I know I am a slower driver and these guys just want to have fun. So I'll always try and let the faster drivers through where I can. But I also want to have a good time defending and overtaking as well. Same thing goes over here too. I see the faster driver in the Italian helmet behind me and I'll just let him through. But that was it for my time at Teamsport Leicester. Nothing too eventful, but it was a very fun track to drive around and I hope to come back soon. I managed to gain half a second on my time from the last session, but ended this P7 with a time of 41.0. But that is the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, please like, comment and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.